A Disney Incredi-Pass costs $1,629, plus tax, plus add-ons. We're talking closer to $1,735 just to get in the door. And that's per person. But here's what most families don't know. There's a way to cover a huge chunk of that cost with credit card points before you ever walk into a park, and the rest, you can knock that down even further. I'm going to show you exactly how it works. But first, let's make sure the annual pass is actually the right move for your family, because if it's not, none of this matters. Let's start with the math everyone skips. A 4-day Park Hopper Plus ticket runs about $816 with tax per adult. That's one trip. If you go twice in a year, 2 4-day trips, you're over $1,630 per adult in tickets alone. The Incredi-Pass with tax is $1,735. So 2 trips of just 4 days each, you're already within about $100 of the annual pass. Now add a 5th day to that second trip, 9 total days across 2 visits, and you've passed the Incredi-Pass and ticket costs alone. Throw in parking at $35 a day and the pass starts pulling ahead fast. The real break-even lands somewhere between 9 and 11 park days, spread across at least 2 separate trips in the same year. One trip only, even a long one, the pass probably doesn't pay off. But if you're a family that goes to Disney more than once a year, the math gets dramatic fast. Here's a real example. Family of 4, 5 trips, 27 total park days in 1 year. If they bought tickets every single time, they're looking at well over $15,000. 4 Incredi-Passes run about $6,940 total. That's thousands in savings, and that's before you count the discounts. Up to 20% off merchandise, 10% off dining, free parking on every single visit. On $800 worth of in-park spending, that's another $120 back in your pocket. So here's the bottom line. If you're going twice a year, 9 or more total days, the pass wins. If you're going once, stick with tickets and put those savings somewhere else. If you want the full system for how we use points and cashback together, I put together a free Disney Points cheat sheet. It covers what Disney expenses points actually cover and the correct order to stack your savings. Link is in the description. Still with me? Good. Because if the pass makes sense for your family, I'm about to show you how to pay for most of it without touching your wallet. Here's something most people don't realize. Disney lets you upgrade any multi-day ticket to an annual pass at Guest Relations. They pull up your ticket, credit the full price you paid toward the Incredi-Pass, and you just pay the difference. So the play is simple. Buy the most expensive multi-day ticket you can find, cover it with credit card points, and then upgrade it to the pass. The bigger the ticket, the more gets credited, and the less you owe out of pocket. Now here's the problem. You've got Capital One miles. You've got Amex points. You figure, I'll just use them to buy Disney tickets. Then you try to apply Capital One's purchase eraser to a Disney.com purchase, and it won't work. Disney.com codes as retail. Capital One miles need travel purchases to qualify. Here's where it changes. Undercover Tourist, one of the largest authorized Disney ticket resellers, codes as travel. That one detail is the whole strategy. Their 10-day Park Hopper Plus, the most expensive multi-day ticket available, runs about $918 per adult before tax. That's already $86 cheaper than the gate price, and it's the ticket you want because every dollar of it gets credited toward your Incredi-Pass. There are 2 ways to pay with points on Undercover Tourist. Let me walk through both. If you have Capital One miles, the Venture Card, the Venture X, the Venture One, this is the best option. You buy the Undercover Tourist ticket on your Capital One card, then log into your account and use your miles to cover that travel purchase. That ticket? Gone. Wiped off your statement with miles you already earned. If you have Amex membership rewards, the Gold Card, the Platinum, the Green, Undercover Tourist accepts PayPal at checkout, and through PayPal, you can pay with Amex membership rewards points. Disney.com doesn't even have a PayPal option. Undercover Tourist does. It works, but it's not as good a value per point as Capital One. So if you have both, Capital One is the better play. Either way, $0 out of pocket for a Disney ticket worth over $900. I break down the exact conversion rates for both in the blog post linked in the description. Now, you've got your ticket covered with points. Here's where you turn it into an annual pass. Head to Guest Relations before you use a single park day. Disney Springs is the best spot if you can get there before your first park visit. The cast members there handle this constantly and know the process cold. Here's why you want to do this before your first park day. The moment you upgrade to the Incredi-Pass, you're a pass holder. That means free parking, 20% off merchandise, and 10% off dining, starting immediately. If you wait until day 3 of your trip to upgrade, you just paid for parking 3 times and missed out on discounts for 3 days of meals and souvenirs. Do it before your first park day, and every single perk applies from the very first moment you walk in. Tell them you want to upgrade your ticket to an Incredi-Pass. They take your Undercover Tourist ticket, credit the price you paid against the Incredi-Pass, and you pay the difference. Here's how that works. You've already covered over $900 of the ticket with points. The Incredi-Pass with tax is $1,735. Guest relations credits what you paid, and you owe roughly $700 to $800 at the window, depending on taxes and the exact ticket you bought. That's it. You just bought a Disney annual pass, valid for a full year, no blockout dates, free parking on every visit, 20% off merchandise, 10% off dining, for a fraction of the sticker price. Here's how you knock that remaining balance down even further. And this is where it gets satisfying. Disney gift cards work at guest relations. So, instead of paying the difference in cash, you buy Disney gift cards first, through TopCashBack, specifically through their Top Gift Cards section. Disney gift cards there typically earn around 5.67% cash back. That's an easy 5% or more back on whatever you owe. But here's the part most people miss. When it's time to withdraw your cash back from TopCashBack, you can choose to get paid out in Disney gift cards, and they give you a 4% bonus on top when you do. So your cash back grows a little more, and it comes back to you as more Disney money. You're using gift cards to pay the cash portion of your upgrade, earning cash back on those gift cards, and then getting paid back in more Disney money. And if you've been running everyday purchases through TopCashBack all year, groceries, household stuff, anything you were already buying, those earnings stack on top of that too. I put together a free Disney Cashback Toolkit that covers the exact apps and strategies we use. That's linked in the description too. Now let's scale this to a family of 4. 2 adults, 2 kids. You're buying 4 Undercover Tourist 10-day tickets with points, 2 adult tickets and 2 child tickets. That's over $3,600 in tickets covered with points you already earned. At guest relations, 4 Incredi-Passes with tax comes to about $6,940. Subtract the $3,600 you already covered with points, and you owe roughly $3,300 in cash. Now, run that through TopCashBack the same way. Buy Disney gift cards with that 5.67% cash back, and you're getting close to $200 back. Your real out-of-pocket cost drops to around $3,100. You just covered over $3,600 of annual passes with points and knocked the cash portion down by a couple hundred more with gift cards. Compare that to the $15,000 plus a family of 4 spends buying tickets across 5 trips. The math isn't close. The full breakdown, which credit cards build these points the fastest, how to earn through TopCashBack on your everyday spending, and the exact steps for the guest relations upgrade, is all linked in the description. And if you want a plan built around your family, which cards to focus on, how many points you need, and when to start, grab the free custom Disney Points action plan. It's personalized to your situation. Link in the description. If this helped, hit subscribe. I put out new strategies every week for families who want Disney without the financial stress.